everyone for coming to the Transcriptomics orientation. If you guys have been to any of the other orientations, whether that be for the other training modules or for the overall informational session that was last week, this will be a bit of a review for the first about 15 minutes or so. So I do want to start off by thanking both LSU Biomed, which is the Division of Biotechnical and Molecular Medicine at LSU, which comprises a variety of cores that are available for their own subspecialties, as well as LBRN, which is the Louisiana Biomedical Research Network. They are the two groups that are funding the training modules this semester. Just to address a quick question, will there be any participation certificate for today's webinar? No, this is just an orientation information, an informational session. So there are 3 training modules that are being offered this semester. Today, we're going to be talking about the transcriptomics. First off, let me emphasize some of the things about the training modules. First off, they're entirely asynchronous. You can participate in them at any of your available schedules. If something doesn't work out for you, you can always come back and watch recorded lectures. You can access the asynchronous courses online at any time. So this is really designed to fit within our busy schedules as researchers or as scientists. However, you're not going to be left on your own. The goal of this training module is to help you through the process to learn more about transcriptomics, whether that be single cell or bulk. And so there's a variety of mentors that will be available to you to help you through this process. So you're going to primarily interact with these mentors through the lectures. So if you participate in the lectures when they're given live, you'll be able to ask questions directly there. However, if you aren't able to do so because of your schedule, there are a variety of other ways to reach out to these mentors, one of which is online chat. So there's several methods that we'll talk about later on about how you can reach out to these mentors if you run into any issues or just have a curiosity question, and they'll be able to assist you. Additionally, if you complete these training modules, you will receive a certificate of completion, and it's going to be associated with what institution you're from. So if you're associated directly with LSU, you'll receive a certificate that is customized to LSU and is going to be signed by Dr. Gus Kasulis. If you are with LBRN, you are likely to be receiving a certificate customized to LBRN, signed by the bioinformatics core lead at LBRN, which is Dr. Chris Taylor. And if you're outside either of those 2 networks, you're going to receive a certificate of completion from the OmicsLogic team themselves. So there's going to be 3 primary ways that you're going to participate in this program. The first one is, if you haven't already done so, please go over to learn.omicslogic.com and register, because the OmicsLogic portal is your primary way of accessing the information you will need to access for this training module. It's how you're going to be enrolled in the course, as well as how to access your asynchronous courses. So if you haven't done this already and you're still interested in joining, make sure you do that right away. Most of you probably already have. So you'll be able to, we'll walk through some of the syllabus stuff on the OmicsLogic portal in a little bit. But another platform that you will gain access to, if you've already registered on OmicsLogic, it should automatically give you a tBioInfo platform access as well. This platform is designed for individuals to take omics data, whether that be in whatever form you're working with it in, and work through essentially a flow chart or a pipeline, as it's referred to as, to process that data using the different analysis techniques that you'll learn about during this training module. So you don't have to go in and code all of that information yourself. The pipeline will help you do that. Additionally, you will have some experience or interaction with the coding playground, which is essentially designed as an online coding environment prepared for you. So you can practice coding without having to establish a coding playground on your own computer, which can be somewhat difficult for individuals that aren't experienced with the process. So those are the 3 things you're going to be focusing on and some of the benefits of this training module. This is going to be an advanced training module. That means there's an expectation that you fully understand biological and computational verbiage, or at least the large majority of the verbiage you'll see. You're expected to have some statistical experience. You don't have to be a statistician, but you should have the understanding of some of the basic concepts. You may have some coding experience with either R or Python, most likely R for biologists, but not always the case. as well as you should have some understanding of next generation sequencing and how it works. And if you don't understand it fully, that's okay, because the training module will go through that, some of these processes for you. That being said, today's the orientation session for this training module. You should already have access if you've registered in advance. If you don't, please reach out to one of us so that we can get you enrolled. Now, what exactly is this training module focused on? This training module is designed to show you how to perform transcriptomic data analysis and data visualization. Many of us have already seen how this data is visualized through papers and other omics-related studies that we've read. This training module is designed to show you some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens to get to that point with your data. You're going to cover a lot of different topics, such as machine learning for expression data, some data analysis, exploratory data analysis methods, as well as here's an example of multivariate analysis that you'll be discussing, some next-gen sequencing processing for gene expression data, and here's some of the data mining classification information you'll cover, as well as how to biologically interpret that data, which many of us have probably seen something similar to pathway analysis or downstream analysis while we go through our biological related papers. So you're also going to have the opportunity to complete your own independent transcriptomic project during this training module. So that if you have your own data, you can actually incorporate it here. If not, there is still a variety of publicly available data that Pine Bio has actually provided for this course, for this training module, to help you through it. And like I mentioned, you will learn how to identify, analyze, and visualize all the appropriate data for transcriptomic data. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. This is the finalized syllabus for the training module. You can access this online as well if you go to the link that was just provided in the chat. And you can go through the actual subtopics that are in each lecture if you're curious. This is some of the things that are going to be covered in this course. Just to kind of summarize, you're going to have a variety of asynchronous courses and tutorials to help you through the process. You'll have access to mentor support. You'll have methods explained to you. How are they performed? Why are they performed? What is the benefit? What are the pros and cons of using that particular analysis? You're going to have multi-omics AI guided instructions. This is an image here of the pipeline that I was discussing on the TBio platform. You'll learn what each one of these particular subsets is involved with and why it's performed, how it's performed, etc. You'll get to analyze gene expression data. You'll learn some of the logic behind data science, which many of us as biologists may not be exposed to on a regular basis. You also have some biomedical data exposure, as well as that project that I mentioned to you. And then if you choose to do so, you should be able to then take that project at the end of this training module and present it at a conference of your choice. And I'll talk about one of those particular conferences here in a second. So if you are part of LSU or LBRN, there are some additional resources available to you that could be beneficial outside of this training module. So if you're in the network, there's a LSU Gene Lab, which LSU Gene Lab is a sub-core in the biomed program. It's available to both LSU and LBRN labs, and it provides a variety of both consultation and experimental services. So if you don't know how to perform a variety of experiments yourself, Thea in the Gene Lab would be an excellent person to reach out to see if she could perform that for you at an affordable price. Some of those services I've listed here, which include sequencing and next-gen sequencing techniques, multiplex protein analysis, and more. Now, this is just a subset. If you're curious, you can go to their website after the lecture. Additionally, if you are associated with the LBRN or an LBRN-associated institution, there's the bioinformatics, biostatistics, and computational biology core, which is designed to provide consulting, mentorship, and training in the field of data science and bioinformatics, primarily directed to faculty or PIs. Additionally, like I mentioned, that conference and that potential to present your project, there is the annual LBRN conference on computational biology and bioinformatics. This is usually held around April, but it's focused around the springtime, so that's not necessarily a solid date. Just keep a lookout for more information about that if you're interested. Additionally, if you would like to continue your knowledge on bioinformatics, there is a master's program available at LSU Health in New Orleans. So you can look into that if you want to continue learning about this. If you're a faculty or you're a PI member and you're interested about having these programs offered at your institution, you can reach out to Ilya Brodsky, who is the CEO of Pine Biotech, at ilya@pine.bio, and he will have more information about what programs they offer if you are interested. So I'm going to stop here for any questions before I show you guys a little bit about the OmicsLogic portal and hand it off before I hand it off to the Pine Bio mentors. One question: why the need for single or bulk transcriptomics and not just transcriptomics? So Ilya will actually get into that a little bit into his portion of the discussion, which will happen in a little bit. He'll give you more details about the benefits of both and what's going to be covered in the lecture. Are there any other non-LSU students here? Yes, there's a variety of non-LSU students in the chat right now. This program is totally online. The only issue is if you're not LSU or LBRN associated, you're not going to have this available to you for free. You'll have to fund it yourself. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this screen for a second, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about the OmicsLogic portal. Okay. So if you guys, like I said, haven't already done this, please go to OmicsLogic, the OmicsLogic portal, where you'll be able to learn.omicslogic.com. Basically, it'll take you to this screen here. What you can do if you're interested, you can register entirely for free. This is not going to be directly linked to the program when you register. This is just to give you access to the portal. So if you're curious, you can hit register for free, which will take you to a sign in or a sign up page where if you have an account, you can just sign in. But if you don't have an account, you can sign up by clicking one additional button, and I'll show you here once that loads. So if you haven't made an account, you just have to click on create an account here, and this box will expand and allow you to enter some information like your name, the email address, and your new password that you'd like to use. Because I've already made an account, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay here on the sign in page. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And it'll take you to a page like this. My recommendation for the quickest way to access everything that you would be involved in is to go to your profile by clicking on the welcome back, where your email should pop up. And it'll take you to this page. So if you're already in a program and you're already enrolled in a program, you'll be able to see that program down here in the badges section. So for this particular program, you should see this badge that says Transcriptomics. And you can click on that. I'll go ahead and open it as a new tab because we'll go to that in a moment. But this will open your syllabus, your access to all of the information that the program is intended to guide you through, etc. You can also find your program under the Programs tab over here. If you click on this, you should see access to biomed bulk and single cell transcriptomics down here. Now, once you get into this and you start taking some of the asynchronous courses, the courses that you have started or have you taken, even if it's only partial, like a portion of a first lesson, it will then show up under the Courses tab. So you'll be able to go to this and quickly access any of the courses that you're currently working on, such as see, I've completed Python course 1, Introduction to Bioinformatics, and I'm mostly done with the BioML course. So if you're curious about how to find a course that's already started, you can go here. You will also, once you complete a course, receive a certificate. And this will be similar to the certificate you'll receive once you complete the entirety of the program. It'll look something similar to this. So if you're an outside individual, it'll look very similar to this. It'll say that you've completed the program, and it'll be signed by an individual from Pine Biotech or the OmicsLogic team. But like I said, if you're from LSU or LBRN, it will look slightly different, where it'll be customized for your institution, and it'll be signed by a different individual from that institution. Now, what I want to show you really quickly is the syllabus. So if you click on this particular link, it'll open a page that looks like this. If you're not enrolled in this particular program, it will look a little different. Your name will not pop up here. So if that doesn't happen and you know you're supposed to be enrolled, please contact one of us. However, if you are enrolled, it'll look like this. It'll show your point system, your name, etc. And you can scroll down here to find the syllabus. Now, once you complete the lecture and all of the information associated here, these online resources, you'll be able to click on complete session. And as you go through, you'll see that each week a different session will become available for you to complete. Once you've completed all of the sessions, which will go through December for this particular training module, you'll be able to complete all of the sessions and you'll receive your certificate. Each one of these lectures is associated with a live lecture, which will be recorded if you're not able to get to that, as well as these associated online resources, which you can click on and it'll take you to additional learning information that you should go through for each particular lecture. I will address what's the difference between the course from, I believe you mean LSU. So there's no actual difference between the content between LSU, LBRN, or outside individuals. It just has to do with how you're going about registering and how you have to fund the program. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I'm going to hand off the lecture to Ilya Brodsky, the CEO of Pine Biotech.
Thank you, Wayne.